everyone, hope you are well. Welcome back to the Open City College YouTube channel. It's a very exciting video today. We're going to be running through a career guide which is all about how to become a midwife. Before we get into all of that, make sure to drop us a subscribe. We do lots of videos all about career guides, student tips, online learning, different careers, interview tips, hacks, lots of good stuff. It's free, you can unsubscribe at any time if you're not enjoying our content. So yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you? I'm very excited to be running through our How to Become a Midwife career guide today. It's a really great one, it's a really detailed one. And I think midwife is a very popular career option, or a lot of people have thought about becoming a midwife since it's such an in-demand, number one, career and such a rewarding one as well. So yeah, we'll be talking through what a midwife is, the roles and responsibilities, and then also the different routes of how to actually become a midwife. So obviously midwives are people who help deliver babies. That's what they do. However, they do a lot more than this. They actually support women throughout every stage of pregnancy. So when they found out they're pregnant, delivering the baby, giving them medical advice and support throughout their pregnancy, and also during the postnatal period as well. So they'll give them and their baby lots of care and advice during that time. So yes, they deliver babies, but it's also about the support before, during and after the whole process. And yeah, it's an incredibly rewarding job as you're kind of supporting a family throughout that whole process. Midwives operate and work in lots of different settings. So obviously they work in NHS hospitals, standalone birth centres, pregnant women's homes, private hospitals and GP practices. And they'll often work shifts over 7 days a week, both doing night shifts and day shifts. And they'll also have on-call rotas as well, where they might be called out to assist labour or pregnant women in a time of need. They have a range of different responsibilities and lots of day-to-day tasks, so we're just going to run through a list of what those could be. So they provide pregnant women on medical advice kind of throughout their pregnancies, such as healthy eating, what things they should be eating, what exercises they should be doing, and generally giving medical advice and support during the pregnancy. They will also explain the different birth options. So obviously you kind of have lots of options when you give birth: home birth, water birth, lots of different things that I wouldn't know, but they will advise the pregnant woman on all of those options, taking into account their circumstances, situations, and kind of make an informed decision on what to advise and explain. It also might run antenatal or parenting classes. During the pregnancy, they will also regularly check up on the mother and the baby's health. And of course you've got actually delivering the baby, which will include kind of assessing the progress of the baby during labour and the delivery, and providing pain relief and advice on kind of pain management during the labour. Then after the baby has been delivered, they sometimes might do home visits, or the parents will come back in and they will check on the baby's health, the mother's health, while they're both recovering. And also they will give advice to new parents on kind of parenting skills and things like that, and just offer them support once the newborn arrives. So yeah, as you can see, so many different responsibilities day to day, and obviously it's always going to be different. So many different circumstances and situations with babies, with the mothers. So yeah, those will largely vary day to day. Next, we're going to run through the skills and qualities that a midwife might need to kind of succeed in that job role. First of all, communication is really key. You're obviously supporting a family, a mother, during an extremely important and sometimes scary, daunting time. So communicating clearly her options, explaining things really well of the processes of things that are happening, that's really key. And also just to be a people person, have that empathy, and make sure that you are caring and supportive towards the mother and the family. Being collaborative and being able to work as part of a team is also an essential skill for a midwife. Especially in the delivery of the baby, there could be other midwives there, consultants, doctors, birthing partners, families. So obviously that's a large amount of people that you need to just be able to deal with working with in that team environment. stress-free and just be able to handle all of those people in that situation. Obviously it would be quite stressful being a midwife, obviously having to make snap decisions if something goes wrong with labour or just in general, to be honest, it's quite a high pressure situation. So you have to be able to deal with high pressure situations, stress, and be able to keep calm in those kind of high stress periods. So that's also a very key quality. Touched on this before, but just having empathy, sensitivity towards people's situations, and to also help you deal with emotionally charged circumstances. Being a good listener as well, being able to practice active listening, kind of putting into practice counselling skills as well, coming in with that non-judgmental approach when you're communicating with the families and the mothers. They want to feel like they're being heard, their opinions being taken into account of what option they'd like to go with in terms of birth, things like that. So yeah, you just have to be a really good listener and make sure that you're listening to everything that the mother is saying. So now we're going to move on to the section where we talk through how to become a midwife. So there are two main routes to become a midwife. One is doing a degree, so going into higher education and studying a degree, and the second is an apprenticeship. So we're first going to run through the university degree option. When choosing the degree that you're studying on to become a midwife, you do need to make sure that it's approved by the Nursing and Midwifery Council. Typically, a degree takes 3 years to study, and you'll also incorporate work placements into those 3 years to make sure that you're getting that practical, real-world experience as well. The entry requirements to get into a university degree to study midwifery would be 5 GCSEs, grades A star to C, which I believe is 4 to 9 in the new kind of grading system, which would have to include English, maths and science in those 5. You would also need either 2 or 3 A-levels, which includes a science, preferably biology, or a level 3 diploma, or you can study on an Access to HE Health diploma. You can also study a degree in midwifery if you have another degree in a relevant subject. Going back to the Access to HE Health option, so if you don't have any A-levels and you're over 19 years old but you want to go on to study midwifery at university, Access to Higher Education diplomas might be a perfect option for you. We offer them ourselves as Open City College, and they are honestly amazing qualifications. They are 2-year courses studied completely online with no exams. You don't have to take any exams at all, it's all coursework based. However, they are equivalent to 3 whole A-levels, which means that you can earn all the UCAS points you need to go onto a degree. And our Access to HE Health one is highly tailored to a career in midwifery. So that is a great option if you don't have the A-levels or the level 3 diploma that you need, and you want that kind of flexibility to study online. I will link actually the Access to HE course down below for you to have a read, because it is an exceptional course and qualification. So yeah, I'll leave that link below and feel free to go and have a read. Just a side note as well, at the minute we do have an offer on our Access to Higher Education courses. So our next intake is January, so we have an intake every January and every September. So it's coming up thick and fast. So the deadline for that will be the end of December for the January intake, and we currently have an offer of £100 off that course. The code is Early Access. Will I put it up on screen, future Jade? Yeah, so the code is Early Access, £100 off, and you can join our January intake and basically start studying that course to achieve a degree in the future. So yeah, just a bit of background there, and I will leave that link below for you to go and have a look. So the second option we're going to be talking about is apprenticeships. So apprenticeships in midwifery have recently become available, which means that apprenticeship students can go on to earn a full degree in midwifery and become a fully qualified midwife. So you can study these midwife apprenticeships at approved universities, and they normally take 4 years to complete, which includes a mix of academic study and also practical workplace placements. So they're another great option to become a midwife, and both of those routes are completely valid. So whether you want to go to university or whether you want to do an apprenticeship, that's completely down to you and your personal preference. So in terms of the entry requirements for those apprenticeships, again it's 5 GCSEs, ranging from a grade A star to C, which would include science, English and maths, which is a 4 to 9 in the new grading system, or you could also have A-levels. So the entry requirements are pretty similar, and it's completely down to you which route that you would want to take. So once you've actually become a midwife and you've secured your first role as a midwife, there is a lot of career progression, so we're going to talk through that career progression in this next section. So once you're a qualified midwife, you could choose to specialise further, so you could go into things like ultrasound or neonatal care and specialise that way. As you gain more experience as a midwife, you could become a ward manager or a team leader even, or you could undertake further training to become a health visitor, director of midwifery, or a midwifery consultant. Alternatively, you could consider becoming a lecturer of midwifery at university and pass on your knowledge to the next generation of midwives coming through and adopt more of an educational role that way. So yeah, that completes our how to become a midwife career guide. So I hope that was really useful. We ran through kind of responsibilities, skills and qualities, the 2 different routes to becoming a midwife, and then also touched on some career progression as well. I can't speak today, I'm very sorry. I'd love to say it's been a long week, but it's only Tuesday. Have a little sip of water. Just to wrap that career guide up, one thing is for sure, midwifery, a role in midwifery is not going to be boring. It's obviously extremely rewarding and interesting career to get into. And if you choose to become a midwife, you're bound to feel extremely fulfilled and happy in your role. So yes, if you have any questions, as always, please just ask in the comments. We're always free in answering people the things they want to know. If you have any questions about access to higher education diplomas, just feel free to ask in the comments, and give this a like if you found it useful. That would be lovely. Yeah, we hope you have a lovely evening, and we hope that you have subscribed for our future content. I love speaking to you. We love kind of encouraging people to chase their goals, helping people in their studies. So yeah, it's a lovely little community we've got over here on Open City College YouTube channel. So yeah, like I said, have a lovely, lovely evening, and we will see you in the next video. Bye!